One of my favorite images from Berserk is Guts at 11 years old, broken, bloody, arrows sticking from his body, laying on his back and staring up into the night sky and looking at the full moon. A sky that looks so vast and endless, and putting into perspective just the small dent that Guts would put into the world as a young boy, or as almost any young boy would be. Guts could die right here and it would affect practically nothing. And yet, after a few moments to gaze into the sky, Guts stands onto his feet and begins to walk. A will to survive that exists for no other reason than to just do it. Guts' life had already been so devastating at this point, and he had every reason to want to quit. To keep going in the face of unspeakable tragedy and impossible odds is a theme that resonates so deeply within me and many others when it comes to their fiction that they enjoy. And I want to try to dive into that for a little bit and figure out why I and so many others love the tortured or tormented character archetype. Now, it's not rocket science as to why you would want to give your protagonist obstacles to overcome in a story. Otherwise, your story would be pretty boring to read or watch. But what about those particular characters that don't just have a problem to solve, but whose lives are so filled with torment and ruined that from an outside looking in, it might seem like they would just be better off dead? Characters that go through so much shit that you feel their pain sinking into your very own chest as you watch them or read them and experience the challenges that they face. Where plot armor can only take them so far, and though they may survive every obstacle that's thrown at them, they experience immense physical and psychological repercussions that never seem to heal properly. I think when looking at characters like this, we can, on one hand, put our own life and problems into perspective. When the world seems too heavy and like we've lost all control of whatever it is we feel like we had a hold of, we can look at these stories and characters and it gives us that little bit more motivation that we need. Guts may be facing down literal demons and getting his limbs broke while you're just trying to pay your rent, but you can still attribute whatever your thing is to overcome in the same way that you see Guts face in the Berserk manga, or in any other story with a tormented character. I always think, if Guts can continue to move forward and refuse to want to just kill himself amidst all of the horrors he has to face, then I can make it through just this next day. You just keep fucking going. No matter how difficult it seems, no matter how dark it gets, regardless of whether or not there's a light at the end of the tunnel, regardless of any rewards you may receive, you just don't give up. Because the very fact that you are alive is enough reason to stay alive. Depression, stress, anxiety, dread, financial ruin, loss of loved ones. You take all of that and you embrace it and you keep walking forward. Watching these characters continue to walk forward give us a point of origin to direct our own perseverance. This is why I say that fiction is important. It's not just about being entertainment. And look, if you only like it for entertainment, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with enjoying stories like Berserk on a surface level. I am not and I will never be an elitist fan. You don't have to like things for the so-called right reasons or for the reasons that I like it. If you just like seeing Guts fight monsters with a giant sword and that's it, I don't consider you any less of a Berserk fan. But what I am saying is that for those that need that extra push in their lives and can look to a fictional property to teach them about obtaining that will within yourself, that's important. And it does mean something. It doesn't matter if people don't get it or if they think you're weird or stupid for liking it. Whatever gives you that push to keep moving forward, then that thing is important. It doesn't matter if it's fiction or not. But also, let's look at another reason why the tormented character is appealing to people. And I think this one is a little less direct, but still important for some reasons. And that's that a lot of the mainstream stories that we see in media, they shy away from the darker topics that are talked about in stories like Berserk. Think about the true themes of the series when it goes into the psychological level, how trauma and PTSD affects the mind to a breaking point where you can literally lose what makes you human due to horrifying experiences that you've had. The constant threat of giving in to that darker side of you, or the lasting implications of such things like sexual assault and controlling indoctrination by higher authorities. Delving into darker topics aren't usually shown in mainstream properties, or if they are kind of glossed over. And the reason for this is because at the end of the day, art still needs to sell. Despite art being a creative outlet for people, if you want to succeed and be able to make a living off it, then people by and large need to enjoy it. Every movie, every book, every manga that you have seen or read was produced with the hope that it would turn a profit. So what the usual outlook is the wider an audience it can appeal to, then the larger gross of revenue it will bring in. So it would be an obvious motive to avoid big taboo topics in your media to ensure that more people will want to seek it out and like it. Stories with true, deeply tormented characters may appeal to less people at large, but I think it creates a stronger bond with those that do resonate with it. And maybe that does mean that most people that resonate with it are going to be the people that are or have experienced a good share of darkness in their own lives. So maybe the reason we love reading about tortured characters is because we love the rare instances where these harsher topics are explored, since it seems so far and in between that we actually get to see it. And to see it in an entertaining and, in my opinion, more tasteful way. That takes away perhaps the initial scariness of wanting to talk about these topics and puts them within a story that has enough kind of action elements and entertainment and great characters that we can talk about these heavier themes within a context of something that isn't so direct and scary to us. Another benefit of having a tortured or tormented character, such as Guts from Berserk, is giving the reader an even stronger reaction during moments of triumph in the story. Since the losses are much more numerous than the victories, when we finally see Guts succeed or overcome something, it's like a powerful aura that jumps right out of the page and fills our entire body. When Guts and Casca get together for the first time, when Guts finally reaches and hugs Casca at the top of the Tower of Conviction, when Guts kind of sort of takes down a God Hand and Clip-Off and then soon after realizes that he does have a team by his side now, and when Guts and Zod team up to take down Ganishka. All of these moments and more show that despite the horror and atrocity that floods the life and story of our main character, there are still moments worth fighting for and worth smiling over. Even in the darkest moments, there are still glimpses of this hope, and holding on to that present moment and appreciating the good while we have it is an important thing to learn. Understanding, like all things in life, that it is temporary, but its feeling can stay with us and last a lifetime. So down in the comments below, I would like you to tell me, first of all, why is a tormented or tortured character appealing to you, especially when it comes to Berserk and Guts in general? And secondly, I'd like you to list some other tormented characters that resonate with you, maybe like 3 or 4 or however many you want to. I'd be curious to read through them and see what kind of other stories you guys have resonated with that deal with a very tormented type of character. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Please give the video a like, a thumbs up if you will, comment down below like I said. Also consider supporting me on Patreon if you would like to, link is in the description below, as well with the Discord link. Subscribe if you want to stick around and see some more videos. Other than that guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you in the next video.